Everclear Foundation, and today I'm having Georges from Tokka Labs, and we're going to discuss our partnership. Hey, Georges.
Hello, sir.
Hey, great to have you. How is it going for you?
Very well. What about you?
Good, good. Really excited because I've been waiting for this conversation, Obviously, we're working in this cross-chain space, and you guys are one of the largest and probably the best solver teams. And I had a few questions just to understand your business a bit better, and also it will be an opportunity for you to share it with the crowd. So, probably the first question for me is, again, like, what's Tokka Labs? Like, what's the nature of your business? How you guys work? Because that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think I can answer that into two parts. So first, what is Tokka Labs in general, and what me and my team are currently focusing on. Basically, Tokka Labs is a prop trading firm based in Singapore, and we are specialized in high frequency on-chain trading strategies. So basically, we are running some strategies like cross-chain trading that we're gonna talk a lot about, but also solving or RFQ private market making and
Mhm.
everything that is related to DeFi, basically. Um, Otherwise, to talk a bit more about cross-chain trading, what does that mean? It means basically that we help move assets across the different blockchains, and we spot inefficiencies in this network, and either due to price or time execution or whatever, and we use our own inventory to close this arbitrage.
Mhm.
And so cross-chain interoperability is challenging, but we help fulfill cross-chain intents, meaning that if someone, let's say, wants to send asset from one chain to the other, we make that happen quickly. And currently, our system works on EVM and on EVM chains.
Okay.
So I think that's all the main points for our businesses and for cross-chain, yeah.
I see. And like householders make money, right? So I suppose that probably you have like a few bips just per transaction, right? But probably a lot of transactions per day. So is it how it works?
Yeah, exactly. So I would say that cross-chain is more a question of volume, because obviously you have plenty of bridges, so you have competitions, and then the fees are not super high compared to other businesses. But so for each transaction, we get a small fee. And the reason why we get this fee is because we take on the finality risk.
Hmm.
So we make sure that the users receive their fund as soon as possible. And we take on the risk that the transaction might not be final until later.
Okay.
So that's why we charge a fee for that. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. And getting closer to the partnership, right? Which is about rebalancing. So I can imagine that for you guys to be effective, you need to do a lot of rebalancing and in a very efficient way. Why is
Yeah.
it hard? Could you tell us more?
Yeah, okay. Basically, rebalancing is hard because of the lack of standardization. Not all bridges are the same. You have bridges that are, like cheap, expensive, fast, slow. And so
Yeah.
you need to know all the different possibilities to rebalance for the exact, for the specific case you are facing at the moment. Also, some paths are not available, some tokens are not fungible. And yeah, so rebalancing is hard because it depends really on your situation and the current possibilities on the market to rebalance what you want to rebalance. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess you are using like a combination of different options, right? Like centralized exchanges, some bridges, and recently Everclear, correct?
Exactly. So basically, um, we use this, I would say, at the moment, mainly Everclear and sexes. We use sex because um, it's very well, for common paths, for majors.
Mhm.
And Everclear is useful for more exotic paths and more exotic tokens. But
Okay.
also, we are totally open, to use any other bridge, especially it depends on the situation, but especially for something that is not supported by both Sex and Everclear.
Interesting. Okay. So, what's key Everclear's benefit? Like, why do you guys use us? Um, what do you like most?
I would say that the main benefit is the protocol design. Basically, one feature that you have that I find great is that you allow the user to select multi-destination chains,
Hmm.
which increase, the likelihood of a faster fill since the liquidity is spread across several chains. And basically, in the sense, the liquidity fragmentation is well handled. Otherwise, another feature that I thought about is the partial fill. Basically, let's
Okay.
say one user wants to rebalance one ETH from, let's say, mainnet to base. For Everclear, let's say if you have two market makers with zero point 0.5 ETH each, then the order can still be filled.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Not everybody speaks about these features, like, partial fills or multi-chain settlement. Interesting. And like, what are the main chains that you are using Everclear for these days?
Mm, I would say that the main chains that we use on Everclear are the chains that are not supported by the SEX. And so I would say, like in our case, to use more and more Everclear, it would mean that you support more and more exotic chains.
Okay. Well, hopefully Solana is on this exotic list and it's coming soon. Great. And I guess that would be your top one wish for Everclear, right? Just like to extend the chain support, or is there something else that you would want us to improve in the coming weeks and months?
I would say that my main wish would be like to extend to more chains, more tokens. Because as I said, the main issue is to find the path that suits your issue. And so
Okay.
the more chain that you can integrate, guys, the more flow and liquidity you can capture. And yeah, so I think more chains and more tokens.
Amazing. Well, we would love to do that for you. Okay. Well, switching from Everclear to just the market in general, given that you guys are like running a very efficient solver, what do you think will happen with the solver market this year? Again, like there are different takes on that. For example, some people expect that the number of solvers will dramatically increase, right? Some others, they expect like actually the consolidation that existing solvers like you and others will just like obtain more capital and just like solve across the board. And it will be like maybe like 5 to 10. So like, what do you think about that? Like, what's your prediction on the solving market this year?
Hmm. I think before talking about the solver themselves, we should talk about the market a bit. Basically, we have seen that in 2024, more chains, new chains are constantly emerging, and people will always find, like use cases for these new chains, and so that will drive the demand for cross-chain intents. Then, consequently, we will have, let's say, new protocols to help with rebalancing across these chains. And so yeah, so the cross-chain market itself will become more and more mature, will consolidate, and
Yeah.
then the solvers will also consolidate because they're us basically. Our system will become also more and more mature, and we will handle a lot of edge cases and that kind of things. So I think that we will still see newcomers, so new solvers to join the field, but it's also an advantage to be here early and to keep building while the others are not here.
Yeah, amazing. I love it. Well, definitely there is like a scale effect, right? If you get bigger, you get more liquidity, you just get access to more opportunities. So yeah, there's like a benefit in just growing. Like, okay. Final question. What are the exciting plans that you can share? Anything that Toka is planning, I don't know, next quarter this year. So yeah, I think people would love to know.
Yeah, I think I can talk about 2025. Tokka has big expansion plans across several businesses, including, of course, cross-chain and solving in general. And on top of that, we are strong believer in DeFi, and we see a lot of inefficiencies that still need to be addressed. So our goal is to bring more volume and more solution to the space. And yeah, in the future, we see a multi-chain ecosystem becoming more sophisticated, and we are like super excited to be part of that solution.
Great. Well, Georges, It's been great having you here, and thank you for sharing all of this. I guess people now get a slightly better understanding of like what is solving and how you guys are working. Yeah, incredible that we're working together. So yeah, guys, everybody, have a great week. Bye.
Have a great week. Bye.